I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
It's about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Join movement expert Aaron Alexander as he dives into the minds of the foremost innovative healthcare thinkers and movement masters on their approach to optimal health and wellness. Align Podcast.
Welcome back to Align Podcast. My name is Aaron Alexander, and today's gorgeous episode got to have one of my favorite humans walking around this globe, Mr. Wim Hof. This is our second recorded conversation. The last one was over Skype, and he was in Amsterdam, and it was like 3.5 years ago, and I really like this one a lot better. It's one of my favorite conversations we've had on this podcast, I'd say. We get into all sorts of great stuff. I'm sure you guys already know who Wim Hof is, founder of the Wim Hof method. He's got like every world record for anything in relation to spending time in the cold. He's a pioneer in breath and cold thermogenesis, you could say that, spend time in cold temperatures, and why that's valuable for your body, mind, emotions, everything. So I hope you guys love this conversation. I'm sure you will. Thank you so much for tuning into the website, aligntherapy.com, ALIGN therapy.com. On there, you can start the 5-day movement challenge, which breaks down how to integrate some effective movement techniques into your day-to-day. We can make our whole lives be much more of like a dance or like a yoga or like a martial art practice or a weightlifting practice. Our body's always paying attention to the way that we move. We're always building ourselves. If we can start to bring some attention into the way that we move, our whole life can become a bit more therapeutic. Thank you so much for using iTunes. Thanks so much for just doing your thing. I love the comments on Instagram, and I love reading the reviews. It's really meaningful that you guys are taking this information, and it seems like it's helping people, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much to Faraday's for supporting this podcast. They're my favorite pair of underwear. They're made of like bamboo and spandex and such, and they've got a pouch around the genital territory that is laced with silver-lined thread or silver thread. And that pouch is there to help bounce off electromagnetic frequencies being emitted from cell phones, computers, et cetera, et cetera. We're getting bombarded by this stuff throughout the day. Do your damnedest to avoid it. I recommend just putting your airplane mode or anything on, or your airplane mode, your computer, your cell phone on airplane mode whenever you're not using it. It's ridiculous. It's crazy that we are contactable 100% throughout the day. Doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so here we go. Back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you devour this conversation. And check out Wim Hof Method. All right, here we go. Pow.
Align Podcast.
Throw this puppy on record.
There you are. It's happening. Okay, I heard it.
Wim Hof.
Yes.
What kind of sound therapy do you do with yourself? You love making sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like making music. I make a lot of music.
Yeah.
I sing and guitar music and my flute and mouth harp, blues harps, djembes. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. What is your meditation like? Is music part of your meditation?
Meditation is all day.
Yeah.
That it is. And that's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Hey, meditation, what do you do? All kinds of things? No. Meditation is our original state of our mind in connection with the body. And that we kind of lost. And now I'm showing in, say, brain scans, where seasoned practitioners in mindfulness are not able to tap in, is where I just showed how to tap into the PHG, periaqueductal gray hemisphere. And it is the ability to consciously tap into the endocannabinoid system and the opiates, which is in the deepest part of the brainstem. Then the thing is, if you are able to tap into the deepest part of the brain, where else can you go? Anywhere. And as they say, 20% of the brain is at will controllable. I say 100%. And that is the new doorway. I just recently published this together with the Wayne State University School of Medicine in neuroimage, in brain scans, showing to be able to command the body top down by just a thought, making cold water on the skin temperature not going down, is dealing with stress. Cold is a stressor, heat is a stressor, emotion is a stress. All is resulting in oxidative stress impact. But we don't know how to command top down our lives in a way that stress is no more there. But if we do, then we meditate all day long. So that is the answer on this question, on the meditation. Yeah. And I think we are on the verge to tap into the innate capacities of ours, the neurological networks called the sixth sense, seventh sense, and eight, which is the sixth sense, the intuition, the confidence, also telepathy, clairvoyance, and all those. Yeah. Seventh, the proprioception, all neurological networks dealing with the time-space perception, but also the timelessness. And the everything, the spiritual, all-encompassing omnipresence, becoming getting to your consciousness, and together with the deepest of the immune system. That's number 7, and we all have shown this now in science to be able to be tapped into just in a couple of days, very effectively, after injecting with the bacteria. Everybody after the training was very able to inoculate the reaction of the bacteria injected, whereas 16,134 people were not able to do that. And now suddenly 12 people, 100% score within a quarter of an hour. Proof. Then the last one is the number 8, interoception. But in this case, top down. How to command with a thought of your brain, with the, say, neurotransmitters caused, neural activity caused by the power of your brain, your mind, the body. That is interoception, top down, interoceptive focus, it's called. And they never had seen that, and I just showed it. And I say, and now it becomes more interesting, this is just the beginning of us as humans to be able to take over the power of the mind. Everybody has the innate capacity, but nobody is using it. Yeah. And now we are showing this, and you show this with your good work to the world through this book, because it has to change. Yeah. We messed it up, it is polluted the world, overconsumed, exploited, insensitive beings walking around, and it just goes on, and the animals are in extinction, and all the whole list has got to change. It's got to stop. And these books, this work of enlightened people who feel the absolute power to change, they have to stand up. It's what you do, it's what I do, it's what we do. There we are.
You mentioned telepathy. That's something that I feel, it feels like from a young age we're taught to not trust, like I call them like the whispers that you hear, like your deep subconscious.
Yes.
You know, and if you hear an internal message, oftentimes it's like, you know, like voices in your head or something crazy. But I think we get these voices and we get these messages continually throughout the day, but we're kind of taught to stomp them down. But if you allow them to start to speak up, it feels like they start to have more prominence in your life. Absolutely. And the phones don't work. It's like disturbing the brain waves, and which goes along with the telepathy. For example, in remote places where people live remotely from each other, they know when somebody else is coming. Yeah. And they begin to prepare, things for them to welcome them and all. And then when the telephone came in,
the telepathy, the ability just faded away. Mm-hmm. So things like that, it's all there. But we have to show, beyond speculation, that this is the beautiful question of this interview now, I see already, because I see how good your body shape is really good, your energy is forward looking, and telepathy you're talking about, you got that all. And you are going to make a book, a great book, which is going, it's in the time right now, it's contemporary, it's exactly what the people need to read, to have a shortcut of, and not need to seek so much. They this, that, that, so yes, that book you are going to make. And now I'm into the threshold of the awakening of the power of the mind to humanity. Yeah. And what do humans want in the end? They don't want telepathy or clairvoyance like a circus artist or make 10 somersaults or this. No, they want to be happy, strong, and healthy. And they want to be able to guarantee this to their children. Mm-hmm. And as long as we are not able to do that for real, we are fear-based. But let me tell you, the fear now is gone. Why? Because the power of the mind makes you able to anticipate anything. Yeah. Into the future, past the time, space, into the future. We are able to get into the DNA. We are doing the study right now in San Francisco, big with the top researchers. They told me 12 years we know how the DNA works, and now we found a natural way how to get into it instead of through microscopes. So they are doing the study, and it's all on the threshold. In the end, what is the message? The message is love. The message is happiness. Health and strength guaranteed for our children in harmony with nature, outside, inside. It's the same thing, and they're the grieving for materials and cars and this and that. It's going to go away because happiness doesn't need compensation. Yep. We don't need too many houses. We don't need too many of anything. If we are unconditionally in connection with the power of our mind coming from our heart, what we want? Happiness for everybody and being in love with life.
Yeah. There's can you grab that pillow from behind you? I'm just noticing that's going to be wonky on the image. There's a Harvard study that they pointed out that we have the same habitual thoughts, like 90-odd% of our thoughts are just habituations of the past week, month, decade. And then there's another thing, like we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts, whatever. We have a lot of thoughts and they're habitual repetitions of the past. I wonder how one is able to kind of step in and take control of their own mental ship. Mm.
Yeah, it's through this, we have shown now in brain scans to activate the deepest of the brain. And known is in a lot of studies on mindfulness that mindfulness is the ability to bring the blood flow from the surface into the deeper parts of the brain. Thus, it begins to activate. And I've shown how to go even deeper into the brainstem and even the PAG, which is close to the spine, to the medulla oblongata. You know what it is. The very primitive part, and we lost this because we are living so much in comfort zone behavior, and we live in the products of our thought. The control through air conditioning and cars and this and A and B and it's all soothing and great. We live in these thoughts and we don't know how to stop them. It's a great power, but we don't know how to stop them. It's a great power, but this is the way we took over the natives. Their simplicity and their primitive, beautiful ways, their harmony with nature. And see where those thoughts, processes, this aggressive, great energy got us. And it is where we are now, and we got to wake up and go back to Mother Nature, to our nativeness. And there is the love, there is the harmony, and it's all there. And now I'm showing this through scientific research in brain scans. Amen. There is a way back. There is a way to stop this over-dominance of thought processes of the neocortex, taking 25% more blood flow than the other part. The other parts, the feelings and the survival, the purpose of our brain areas, those get 25 on a chronic basis, 25% less blood flow. Logically, that it is just surviving but not living. So, our brain, the surface is on, and we don't know how to stop it. We began with this, and you see that this part of the brain and the way we think actually is not us. Yep. It just coincided in our minds, in our population. And now we thought we identified with it, how big we are, how great we can take over the world. We're just fucking up the world. And now we got to stop this if we love our children and the nature around it. We got to stop to be so egotistic and go back to love for nature, inside, outside. And it's all there. I'm showing this because nobody's going to listen to these words if I am exclaiming this on the roofs and say hallelujah and this is the way. Nobody's going to listen. I show it through science. That we have the capacity found how to neural channel back to the primitive parts of our brain, these beautiful, the parts of the purpose and love and sensitivity. Those parts.
Yeah. It feels like the root of a lot of the depression and anxiety and obesity and all the crummy experiences that modern people are going through is a product of the very amelioration of our lives. Like we go out of our way to do air conditioning, go out of our way to move our bodies from place to place as opposed to our moving our own bodies. So we've done such a good job at kind of outsourcing this like mammalian part of ourselves and just running on that frontal cortex thing like you're talking about.
Yes.
And now we're getting sick. And I wonder how we can start to, in tangible steps, start to kind of come back online with that deeper part.
Very good. Very good. Aaron,
Yeah.
Is telephone on or something?
Yeah.
Just get it off.
Yeah.
Let me get it off.
Yeah, no worries.
This is... Oh, Lulu Berton.
We're easy here on the Align podcast.
Yeah, easy. How to get off. First, learn how to prime your body back to the right biochemistry. Because through following this neocortex thing, we just become insensitive to the biochemistry of ourselves, of our brain, and with that, the control. It's not alive. How to bring it alive, to make it alive, the biochemistry in the right order, deeper and deeper parts, both in the body as in the brain, is through breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing, these breathing exercises, breathing without breath, we are nothing. So we are able to go through the breath into all the cells and provide it with the right biochemistry and alkalinity, the right pH degree, which is needed to have the neurotransmitters, our thoughts, and the electricity of our body, the nervous system, to the level of the autonomous nervous system in control. We are not built with a brain which is only able to control 20%, no, 100%. But we have a wrong biochemistry. And that's why it doesn't transmit. It doesn't go through. It's like if you put the wrong gasoline in your car, it's not going to run.
Yep.
It's the same. We have a body, mechanisms, and it works perfectly. It's beautifully engineered. And what do? We give it profanity. We give it the wrong chemistry. And it's surviving, but not living. It's not alive. And that's why people don't feel alive. And they go and keep on going, and in due time, they get all kinds of chronic diseases and ailments and depression. It's all logical. It's deprivation, chemical deprivation. So how can you solve this? Through breathing techniques and movement.
Yeah.
Movement is the right thing to do.
And music.
And music, absolutely. A limbic system, very good at work.
Yeah.
Not the talking, but singing.
Yeah.
It's complete. People and dancing, going past the rigid ways of our thinking and attitude, the mask, the persona. Yeah, so breathing and believing. Believing is our mind. Our mind is able to command our body. Mm-hmm. So once the chemistry is right, we are able to take over the command again. And from there, it only starts. We are wrongly schooled, I tell you, from the beginnings. Everybody. We are serving a system which is insensitive. We are serving a system that shoots people to the moon, but is not able to guarantee happiness, health, and strength here on the earth itself. We become insecure, and we go for the wrong goals. And we invest all the time our mind over there, but not in here, which is so beautiful. The mind is so beautiful. Once it begins to develop, it gets acquainted to the soul itself. So that is one. The cold is a great ally. Why? Because it is able to optimize our vascular system. We do fitness and all, but there is also the vascular system, and I call it vascular fitness. We have millions of little primitive muscles within the vascular system, which is 3 times the world round, is inside of us. Capillaries, veins and arteries. What happens if they are exercised, optimized? They help the nutrients, minerals and oxygen, the right chemistry to our cells. Our cells, they need that. They need that for energy and for anything that happens within our body. And we always give it too short in amount. And that in due time creates a wrong chemistry once again. And what comes? Autoimmune diseases. And everybody is asking, how come? I tell you how come. A cold shower a day keeps the doctor away, sort of, and the right food.
Yeah.
Food should be food, not messing with chemistry and then get it in, because then the body needs to process all that chemistry and it's taking all the energy, and right. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's garbage, and it gets in and it's poison. So, very clear. It's the cold movement. It is the breathing. It's the believing. And yeah, about that. With that begins the old channeling, the old neurochanneling inside of our head to fade slowly but surely away, and the core values of life begin to become much more important, which is happiness, strength, and health. Oh. And once we get in contact with that, then we get the real foundation for the mystical soul itself, which is going to be perceived in all its beauty, and no moment of your life is going to be bored anymore. So there we are.
Is there anything that you struggle with mentally, emotionally in your thoughts? Or are you continually in a pretty
I'm quite on the threshold of. I'm pioneering in science. It's very exciting. I'm changing the paradigm, and if a man like me drop out from school, teaching professors and doctors all over the world, is able to do that, then see what you are able to do, because I keep on doing what I do, and the mission is almost completed. Mm-hmm. And it is the soul itself, what I want. And so I have no moments of regret or boredom or anything. I just want ASAP the recognition that the soul is the source of our being. And for everything and anybody.
Mm. So you don't go through like moments of loneliness or moments of disconnection or feeling out of your body. You feel like continually 100% of your...
A man who is driven never has time to think about those things. He always goes, man. It's like a war.
I got to figure that out, man.
Yeah. No, man, if you are quite a driven person and you are on your way and just keep on tracking, because you're a beautiful man, but also a great man.
Thank you.
And I can see it, I can tell it. I received some inspiration of your being right here. And I felt, oh, wow, nice. This morning, I was just recharging here, just lying with my breath and just being recharging. Yep. And then you came in, what? Hey, hello, fuck, man. I liked it.
That's my style.
It's good. It was good. I like your instruments and all those things. You give people inspiration, man. Yeah. And that's great. So boredom, etc., is one of the byproducts, if you go by the old way of schooling, serving a system which is not serving necessarily our sensitivity. Yep. And the power of our mind. No, let's manipulate this one. We use them, and so in people who are, say, in nature, for example, they don't know boredom. They are lucky, and they are in nature, in harmony. Boredom is a byproduct of alienation from nature. So when the nature is not felt inside, you can't feel it outside anymore. Yeah. If you're too much in the thinking, you disconnect from parts of your body. It's like death. And that death, it's not nice. It's called boredom. And it can go into extremes. And that's what we suffer from. And it's growing, this depression thing. Let me tell you, they said, by the last study, they said, we found compelling evidence of the key components of the autonomous processes in the brain related to mood regulation. Mood, boredom, depression, bipolar, anxiety, fear, trauma, PTSD, anything is mood. But we cannot change it. And now we found the key components of the autonomous processes. Autonomous means outside of our will, now inside of our will. It is time to change. And we are able to become happy, strong, and healthy in harmony with nature. There we are. And that's what you do. That's what I do. Yeah. You hear it, you feel it, you go toward it. And that's where we show the light. We show the way.
How about community, social connection, love, empathy, all those parts?
Yes, that the tribe. Yeah. If I do my, we do, like in 2 weeks, I'm back in Poland in the cold mountains over there, and receive a lot of people, and then takes about 1.5 days for the people to disembark from their conditioning in the mind and all, and to become one with everybody.
1.5 days feels fast.
Yes.
You must be doing some good stuff.
Yes, and it's nature demands, because in day 4 they are going to go climb a mountain in their shorts in the cold, in the freezing temperatures for 5 hours. So you better disarm. There's no attitude there needed. You got to go into deeper parts of yourself. And there is the sensitivity, but also the power. So one have the empathy then. It's logical. It's not, you are there because he is there for you. The cold is the big stressor later.
Yeah.
And there I need you and you need me. We need each other. We need the bodies to come together, help each other, give energy, warmth, and it's all there. And then you disarm. This is once again a product of the thought processes and having suits and walking like straight and rigid and talk insensitive to each other about business and all. We are gone from our bodies. And with that, the oxytocin.
Yeah.
And the oxytocin is so important for our bodies to thrive.
I was reading a thing from the Bhagavad Gita. Have you ever looked through the Bhagavad
Yes.
Gita at all?
Yeah, I
like
know.
a translation there. And one of the things that it says in there is like one of the keys to your health, spiritual health, mental health, all that is staying close to the ground. And so as you start to go up the ladder, you get further and further away from your roots.
Yes.
You know, and I noticed that you sit cross-legged, which is like that's a huge part of the book is spending time on the ground and, you know, mobilizing yourself just through the experience of being on the floor more often. You know, is being on the ground something that's important to you?
Yes. Well, we in the West, we eat with forks and everything in distance.
Yep.
All products of the mind. So we got to change here and there, all these things. The Earth, logically, takes a lot of our oxidative stress and the ionization. So it's like a washing machine. You get three of these, positive, negative, and the Earth. And we are electricity ourselves. It's all logic.
Yeah.
So if we don't have contact with anything we take, like food and people and the earth, alienation is complete very soon. And with that, a disconnection. And from the disconnection comes a whole lot of bad shit.
Yeah. How do you connect with people?
And,
Like, what's like a practice? Of being able to
very,
connect
very
deeper?
spontaneous being I am. I'm always saying, hello, hey, how is it? A great day, eh? Whoa. Yeah.
But
you know.
going beyond the superficial connection that most of us are so accustomed to, because there's like another layer. And it seems like it's like unavoidable with you, where it seems like you kind of live at that next layer down.
Yes.
You don't seem to care so much with the superficial part.
No, I don't. I don't. It's it's not only time is too short to be that like, and then come to the end of life that you have not lived, not really lived. And it's time too short to not go into the timelessness. To go into it all, to feel the day as a part of eternity, and a possible entering into the gate of the consciousness of understanding what eternity and the soul is all about every day. Like right now, I feel it together with you. This is like ping pong into the soul. Because it is, in the end, common sense. And that common sense, there is the power, there's the love, there is the strength, the happiness, and all for humans. And not very little people are still able to understand that. But for that, we need people like you and me doing crazy stuff, but creating a new gate toward infinity, toward real purpose. And that's what we do. And that's the way I think when I meet people. It could be an Uber chauffeur. I have great conversations with the Uber chauffeurs. And apparently, they are like independent. They go and they relate with the people. And I like them. And then I always get very good conversations into the depth.
Yeah.
But keep on the work, man, Aaron. Keep on the work because it's good. It's good. It's great. We have to create these new gates out of this swamp.
Yeah. It feels to me like that's where all the healing is. If you can go beneath that superficial layer, which most of us want to heal ourselves. We want to do the foam roller, we want to do the pills, we want to do, whatever the topical outward in thing that will fix the thing. It feels safer, if it's just the way we're taught. But if you're able to give yourself the spaciousness to get out of all of that and to allow it to come from inside out, I feel like that's it. But it's bridging that gap. Because we're not educated that way.
Exactly, and we are dealing with a hump of neurochanneling, which is always going the other way, instead of where we want. But we still got the sense. Be happy that you still got the sense to get out of here into the eternity, into the real purpose, into the depth, into these beautiful, beautiful alchemy of life itself. Whatever the name, we are going to get it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Good, man. Actionable. Well, we can wrap up soon because we got to go to the thing. As far as for the book, actionable breathing practices. Is there anything that would stand out for you? Something that I could include for people?
These breathing exercises to prime the body.
Yeah.
And then the cold is the vascular fitness. Just do them. They are really the foundation of your life and the length of your life.
Beautiful.
And with that, the quality. Absolutely. And then you get the last part, the mindset. Not only do it, believe that you are born to become one with the soul. And the soul is all the depth, all the mystical, anything, more than anything, you have the access toward it. They asked me, Wim, what is enlightenment? I said, and please say it in one sentence. All Bibles and Qurans have been written about that. And then I put it in one sentence. Okay, here you got it. Be happy, strong, and healthy, and the rest is bullshit.
Yeah. How do you define success?
Success, it's happening now. Success, I go together with science, just to, as they say in the Bhagavad Gita, Kyana Dipena Bhasvata, with the torch of knowledge, we can chase away the darkness, the obscurity, the ignorance. So every time I get got 8 new studies completed, they are into publishing now, and that is going to enlighten my mind, my heart. That's one, and I get so many testimonials these days of people who are not dying of cancer because they are in remission, or they are not committing suicide because they feel alive now.
Yeah.
All those things bring me happiness to the soul. And furthermore, I got just a beautiful woman and a beautiful child. I got 6 children, and I'm happy, and chickens, and a dog, and turtles, and fish. I'm happy with my gardener now. Yes.
Cool, man. What's the best place for people to find me? They could just Google your name or whatever. Is there any best place to point people?
Yeah, it's WimHofMethod.com. Wasn't me to put their name, so people put that there. But I got an office. I work together with my son, Enam. You saw him just now. Yep. And he's doing the logistics. He is the CEO of the company and all. And the thing is, there is a great community over there. Over 100,000 people are already joining. And, you can put any question of ailments or this or that. Whatever you got, you can put it, because a lot of people have already gone through them.
Yep.
So we got about 45, between 40 and 50,000 testimonials of people who are fully cured. That is something big. And so we got a natural database for healing through this method. And it's there. And so get to the wimhoffmethod.com, and there is a free app. You can begin and start. It's all free, and then you see all the benefits therefrom. And if you want to go deeper, you can go deeper. We got an academy, we got travels, we got a lot of shit.
Amazing. Thank you so much, man.
Right on, man. Right on. Good.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, wrap this thing up. On to the next mission. Thank you, brother.
Great. Good journey.
Align Podcast.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into that conversation. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Some ways that you can support this podcast, one of which you can pick up an Align band, which is a heavy-duty resistance band. Comes along with a door anchor and a carrying case and a video guide on how to mobilize those joints and integrate that body of yours. Really great stuff. You can be found at aligntherapy.com and also on amazon.com. Thank you also so much for utilizing the Amazon affiliate link on the right-hand sidebar of the podcast page. Bookmark that thing. Anytime you purchase some crap on Amazon, purchase that crap. Through that link, we get a percentage of it. Costs you nothing. And I think that's enough. Thank you guys so much for reviews on iTunes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Pow.